Hey everyone, and welcome back to launch number 2 of my Kerbal career mode. This episode, we're going to be launching, hopefully, an orbital flight to get us a little more science and all that kind of stuff. So let's pop on over to the research center. And in here, we're going to grab a few things. We're going to get with basic rocketry. We have enough science for that. We'll also get survivability, and that will help me out a little bit in this next mission here. Unfortunately, we're not able to get the batteries yet, which is a little saddening, but you know what? We'll probably get it next mission. So let's just get basic survivability and start a mission. Alright, moving on to the VAB. I'm going to speed this up because it's kind of boring building a ship out and placing the parts, but just in the general overview, it's going to be a fairly tall rocket. I'm going to put a heat shield on the very top of it just to make sure that during re-entry I won't burn things up. I'm going to place 2 parachutes right under the heat shield so they'll be maximum protected. And then I'm just going to add the orbital stage, my boost stage, my launch stage, which will have 3 solid rocket boosters. Unfortunately, there's no radial decouplers, but again, we'll be getting those in later missions. Okay, and on to launch. Now we're on launch pad, we throttle up, SAS on, and we fire her up. Now, what I did put in the ship for this launch, I did put on the Science Juniors. We do have access to that. Hopefully we'll get some science with that. I'll take a few readings throughout this mission. 1 in the atmosphere, 1 in space, and 1 on re-entry. I believe the one on both of the atmosphere ones will be about the same. So there's the first stage. First stage is the solid rocket boosters are out, waiting on the liquid fuel to burn. It's kind of an issue that the solid rocket boosters are not off. It's a lot of dead weight just hanging there. But unfortunately, again, we don't have the radial decouplers. Now, one thing about this mission as well, I also have Ferrum Aerospace. And Ferrum Aerospace, you have a tendency to have the ship flip if you change your or do your gravity turn too sharp. So I try to avoid that here and pull her over slowly and bring up my aft flaps. Now, ways you can avoid Ferrum Aerospace, the flipping is definitely to be gentle when you do your gravity turn. Make sure you go slow. You can keep going, but make sure you go at a slow pace. Just allow for the ship to catch up. Once you're getting in the upper atmosphere, it can be a lot more hard on the controls. But down in the atmosphere, you want to keep it light, keep it, just touching it, just to make sure you don't spin your ship. Okay, raising up the aft flaps a little more. And just getting to the point where I'm thinking I'm going to do my first Science Junior here in a second. I'm going to... Okay, there's the launch stage gone. Now we're in the what I like to call the boost stage. I'm not quite sure if that's a technical term for it or not. But now I'm on the boost stage, which will hopefully put me into a near orbit. Now I'm not going to get into a full orbit because I want that stage to come back down. I don't want junk in space. So once I get to about 35 kilometers, or sorry, 35 kilometers high, I'm going to ditch that stage. Okay, moving forward, I'm now just about ready to ditch the boost stage so I don't either overshoot my apoaps or leave debris in orbit. I'm going to do it a little bit early because I know I have plenty of fuel for this trip. I could have actually went a lot farther than I did. I probably could have done a moon mission with the amount of fuel I had. So I'm going to get my apoaps up. I actually have a small pair apps, about 30 5,000 kilometers, so that's completely fine. The debris will burn back up, so I'll drop it with a little bit of fuel left. Just double check to make sure I have air braking and there is separation. And now I warp to Apple Apps. I'll be rotating to prograde and then circularize my orbit so I'm actually in a stable orbit. So just keep checking it, make sure that it's actually going up, and make sure that I stop right about where it's circular. And there it is. And now that we're in a stable orbit, I can now do some science and EVA Jebediah Kerbin to get a little extra science, as well as do a crew report. Double checking my electric charge. That kind of is a problem with life support because if the electric charge goes away, so does the heater, and Jebediah will definitely freeze to death, and we wouldn't want that. Also, that doesn't allow me to control my spaceship, which may become a problem. Alright. Now that I have my report, we can get back in the capsule. And once in the capsule, we take a crew report. And actually, it gives me 0 science, so I just will recycle that experiment. Okay, it's going to warp a little bit, see if I can actually do an orbit, but unfortunately, with the electric charge I have, I can't complete a complete orbit, so I decided to do my return burn earlier than I would have preferred. So I'll bring that down to about, again, 35 kilometers. Once about that range, actually about 32 kilometers, about that range is where we'll aero brake and we'll have the least amount of heat affecting the aircraft. So I'll speed up. As you can see, we're running out of electric charge very fast. Then I'm going to align the spacecraft to prograde just to make sure once I hit atmosphere, my ship's at least sort of in the direction of which we're going. That way the aerodynamic effect will take hold and I will actually go the way that the heat shield is facing. Okay, so I'll start warping again. We're now within the atmosphere, so we're only on the 4x time acceleration at max. Okay, now while I'm descending, I'm going to make sure while I'm going down, I kind of maintain a prograde. I know I'm running out of electric charge, and actually I just ran out. So that'll be an issue. So hopefully this direction, my ship catches the air and actually streamlines the right way. We are still a little high up, so it is kind of rotating and it's a little bit worrying. Okay, we're about to come into the very thin atmosphere. And we're coming in at a pretty good pace. Now, as I said before in the VAB, the way that he should have placed, it's going to protect the parachutes very, very well. The Science Juniors may be a little bit of a problem, but I don't think they will be. I believe they can withstand a lot more heat than the parachutes can. So hopefully this whole ship can come down in one piece. Okay. So going through the upper atmosphere right now, we see the slowing down of our ship, as you could see earlier by the aft falling, or the periaps falling at that point. And we have yet to have any aerodynamic effects. We haven't entered that part of the atmosphere yet. And as you can see, we just lost our periaps, so now we're definitely on a return trajectory. Okay, and we're just about to hit the aerodynamic effects. Now keep in mind, this is a very, very long descent. I mean, I'm currently running this at 3 times acceleration, so it's quite long. But again, it limits the amount of heat that all my parts will take, including the heat shield. Next, like my last science junior. Whether that'll help or not, I have no idea. Just checking on, make sure temperatures are all good around the spacecraft, which they are. The shield's taking damage, which definitely can see by the bottom bar there. Temperature on the capsule's a little bit high. Temperature on the parachutes are maintaining about, actually they're going down, so we're good with that. Still quite a fiery ball flying through the sky though. I did turn SAS off because I do want it to kind of streamline into the atmosphere so it goes straight instead of the ship trying to correct it and hold its place. The shield's going down a little bit concerning, but I'm fairly sure it'll be okay. Oh, there we go, get atmospheric effects going away. And the shield stopped taking damage, so yeah, we're definitely good on this trip. We have some mock effects going on. I released the heat shield probably a little bit too early. Definitely the wrong way. I'll wait a little longer for the parachutes. Oh, and there are the parachutes. It'll spin our craft around and flip the shield away. Make sure it doesn't, just looking up, make sure it doesn't come back and smack us. Yeah, I think we'll be good. Okay, still coming down, still losing speed. Everything looks fine so far. Okay, our parachutes have opened. We're going about 7.7 meters a second, so that's decent. We may lose the engine on the bottom, but again, that's not too big an issue. As long as the science stays safe and as long as the crew stays safe, we'll be definitely a positive trip or a good trip for our Kerbals. Oh, yep, and the engine did explode. Alright, so now we're on the ground. I would like to actually EVA him, but I decided not to, and recover the mission. Okay, and with this mission over, I'd like to thank you for watching this episode, or this launch. We'll check how many points we get, and we got 38.1 points of science. So now we have an overall of 39 science to spend. And again, thank you for watching. I definitely hope you'll come back again, and we'll spend these next points when I see you all next time.